Have you ever had a hard time coming up with topics to talk about? Today, I'm going to teach you how to never run out of things to say. The first strategy is using what I like to call positive assumptions. The problem most people have is that they overthink the topic of conversation so much that they end up getting paralyzed. The irony is that the best topic of conversation is always in front of them. See, there are two things that you need to understand about people. First, every single one of us craves attention and praise. We like to be acknowledged and to be told positive things about ourselves. If you think about it, when you buy new clothes, you do it because you want to feel better about yourself, or maybe because you want to be recognized. The second thing you need to understand is that we love to talk about ourselves. We are our favorite topic to talk about. Whether it's our perception of the climate or our life's purpose, if something is related to us, we will love to talk about it. That's why the best way to keep a conversation going is to say positive things to the other people about themselves and then let them elaborate on it. Let's say you're out on a date and the girl shows up very well dressed. You can say something like, "I really like how you're dressed. You must be a very detail-oriented person with an amazing taste." This will immediately make her feel good and want to open up to you. First, she will like being told all those amazing compliments. From there, she can open up about why she likes her clothes, why she's detail-oriented, yada yada. Let's say you are at a party and you don't know anyone. Fortunately, you start making small talk with someone who is drinking water. You can say something like, "You seem like a very social and healthy guy. I like the fact that you're drinking water." He will like being acknowledged in that way, and from there, he could expand on whatever made him feel better. Before I forget, if you're someone who is interested in improving their social skills, make sure to check out my series How to Make Friends Everywhere You Go. It's a series of videos with my best tips to be a social person. I will leave the link in the description below. The second method is using questions and comments. This is maybe the easiest way to get another person to talk. The problem with only asking questions is that the other person can feel like they are being interviewed. Paradoxically, this can lead them to not trust you and to want to end the conversation fast. That's why I suggest you add comments before asking questions. This will give the other person a little bit of information about you so they can relate with you. Let's divide this method in two. We will be focusing on questions and then on comments. Let's say that another person says, "You know, last week after going to the gym, I returned to my home so tired that I didn't want to make food. Fortunately, I meal prepped yesterday." If you paid close attention, you could branch off with questions in multiple directions. You can ask what type of training you do at the gym, where do you live, what type of food do you like to meal prep. The key to asking questions is to pay very close attention to everything that they share so you can branch off in the direction you want. Let's talk about commenting before asking a question. Using the same example, you can make one of the following comments before asking any questions. "I also go to the gym. I love to do CrossFit. What about you?" "I live nearby. You too?" "I also meal prep on Sundays. What about you?" "You know, I follow a low-carb diet. Have you ever tried it?" In the same line, it's important to take into account the depth of the relationship in order to talk about proper subjects. If you're having trouble keeping a conversation going, it's usually because you're talking to a new person. In that case, I suggest you talk about topics like their profession, hobbies, and goals. These are safe topics that will help you both relate to each other. One of my favorite questions to ask when I'm getting to know someone new, especially women, is, "What's your favorite thing to do in the world?" This will reveal a lot of information about the other person. From there, I can branch off wherever I want. By the way, if you're interested in improving your mindset so you can have the best frame of reference to achieve your goals, you can get my free audio affirmations with the link in the description below. I promise you that your mindset is everything, so make sure to use my free affirmations to improve your mindset. The third way is telling a story and then asking a question. Storytelling is the oldest way of communication, bonding, and teaching between human beings. If you think about it, facts are extremely boring. They don't light up your brain. On the other hand, why do you think movies and series are so engaging? It's simple, they are captivating stories. Most human communication is done through storytelling. When you get together with your family, friends, and community, you're basically sharing little stories about your life. Stories can be told at 3 levels. Level 1 is the superficial level. These are stories about your career, your hobbies, sports, TV shows, movies, food, and so on. Level 2 is the shallow level. These are stories about your opinions and feelings. In this level is where you start opening up and being vulnerable. The third level is the deep level. These are stories about your dreams, aspirations, problems in life, shame, and trauma. The most important thing when you're telling stories is that you need to relate to the other person. Talking about your recent trip to Dubai and how your dinner was served in a gold plate will not resonate with anyone. On the other hand, sharing a story about how cooking makes you light up inside and makes you feel very creative will definitely resonate with a lot of people. After telling a story, it's best to ask a question. The question must be related to the core message of the story. So, let me tell you a story and ask you a question. You know, one of my favorite things to do for entertainment is watching sports. There's something about the competitiveness that makes me feel alive and fascinated. Watching two teams battle each other for a common goal makes me feel that life has meaning when you work towards a defined objective. Have you ever felt this way? If so, when? The whole point of my story is that working with more people towards a common goal makes me feel alive. Most people can relate to feeling full of excitement. Therefore, my question has to be in line with that point. At the end of the day, the best way to never run out of things to say is to practice, practice, and practice. You could watch this video 100 times, but if you don't go out and put these tips into practice, you will not learn anything. I challenge you to put into practice each of these 3 strategies 10 times. Approach 10 strangers and make a positive assumption about them to engage them in a conversation. Practice the comment and question technique whenever you're talking with someone. The next time you're talking with someone you trust, tell a story and ask a question. That said, you want your conversations to be of high quality. I suggest you cut off some things, especially when you're talking with new people. First of all, stop ranting. Nothing makes you more unattractive than being an angry and impulsive person that's always looking to throw their emotional garbage on other people. Second, stop complaining. Sure, there's a place to voice negative opinions, but if you're having trouble sustaining a conversation, you don't want to do it through negative topics. People will associate what you talk about with the kind of person you are, so stop complaining with people you barely know. Third, don't gossip with strangers. Gossiping tells other people that they can't trust you. When you gossip, you're not honoring the trust others had in you. This means that you are not trustworthy and therefore not pleasant to be around. Also, many people make the mistake of forcing a conversation. See, if the other person is not making an effort to talk to you, let it go. Stop trying to make the conversation flow. You want to interact with people that are eager to talk to you. Remember, if someone is not making an effort to keep a conversation going, neither should you. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any tips to never run out of things to say when you're talking to someone else. If you found value in this video, please leave a good thumbs up to support the channel and consider subscribing to it.